You ever walk into a room and just feel like you've lost before you've even said a word? Well, you're not imagining it. For most of us, we lose a person's trust without ever opening our mouths. It's a crazy problem. But today, we're going to break down exactly why it happens, and more importantly, how to fix it. So, how much time are we talking about here? How long does it take for someone to make that critical judgment about you? Get this, it's just 3 seconds. Yeah, in less time than it takes to even say your name, the person you've just met has already decided whether they can trust you or not. And you know, there's actually a name for this. Psychologists call it the trust window. For those first 3 seconds, the other person's amygdala, that's like the ancient primal alarm system in their brain, is just scanning you. It's not thinking, it's feeling. It's asking these super basic questions. Are you a friend or a foe? Are you confident? Are you hiding something? Okay, so if this all happens in the blink of an eye and it's so fundamental, how do you pass the test? Well, the good news is it's not random. There are 3 very specific nonverbal signals you can send that basically tell the other person's brain, hey, it's all good. Let's break them down. First up, the most important one, your eyes. When you first meet someone, the goal is to hold eye contact for exactly 3 seconds. I know it sounds simple, but the timing here, well, it's everything. And here's why the precision is so wild. If you hold eye contact for less than 3 seconds, you look nervous, maybe a little shifty. But if you hold it for longer than 3 seconds, you can come across as aggressive, even kind of creepy. 3 seconds. That's the magic number. It signals confidence and openness all at once. All right, let's move on to key number 2. This happens once you actually start talking. It's called the strategic pause. So after the other person finishes what they're saying, you just wait. You add a little deliberate pause, about half a second, before you even think about responding. Why is that tiny little moment so powerful? Well, think about it. Most of us, when we're in a conversation, we're not really listening. We're just waiting for our turn to talk, right? We're busy forming our reply in our head. That half-second pause sends this huge subconscious signal that says, I wasn't just waiting, I was listening. I actually heard you. And that brings us to our third and final key. This one is a super small physical tweak, but man, it makes a huge difference. It is all about the position of your chin. You want to keep your chin level, or maybe even tilted just a little bit down. And here's why this is so important. When your chin is tilted up even a little bit, it's universally read by our brains as arrogance, like you're literally looking down on them. But keeping that chin level, that signals respect. It says you're engaged, you're present. It's a tiny little shift that completely changes the vibe you're giving off. Okay, so I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds kind of like a cool psychological party trick, right? But this isn't just some theory from a dusty old textbook. This is the real deal. These are proven techniques used in the highest stakes situations imaginable. That's right. FBI hostage negotiators, the people whose job is to build trust when it is literally a matter of life and death, they are drilled on these 3 exact signals: the 3-second eye contact, the strategic pause, and the level chin. They aren't even allowed in the field until they master them. And the science behind this is just staggering. A big study at Harvard on first impressions found that our brains make these judgments about trustworthiness in as little as 100 milliseconds. That is literally faster than you can blink. But here's the real kicker from that study. Those snap judgments we make, they are incredibly sticky. In fact, they almost never change, even when we get a whole bunch of new information later on. That's why getting that first impression right isn't just important, it's critical. So let's think about this a different way. This isn't about being fake or trying to manipulate someone. It's actually about learning how to communicate in the way the human brain is already wired to understand. You're just speaking the brain's native language of trust. So the next time you're about to walk into a meeting or go on a first date or meet anyone new, here's your checklist. It's this simple. 1. 3 seconds of eye contact. 2. A half-second pause before you reply. And 3. Keep that chin level. Just try it. Watch what happens. So building trust is one side of the coin. But what about the other side? What about knowing how to spot when someone is being dishonest with you in that same critical trust window? Now that is a whole other story.